last thought I have is kind of a challenge question for you, which is,
I like challenges.
You and I talk about this vision that recognizes the ecological limits, and we talk as though, how would I say, it's a very different vision than the trajectory society's been on.
Right.
At the same time, most people are telling you Washington's broken.
Right.
And there's a lot of resistance to the kind of change that you envision would make us all better off. How are we going to get from here to there? What's the political economy of the transition to a sustainable economy?
Well, you're the expert at this, Rob, so that's why you're on my
That's
board.
why I'm asking you.
I do have a theory, and I don't have it worked out yet, but I am working toward it. I agree with you that Washington is broken, and I have little expertise or patience in sort of wrestling with that world. So I've chosen sort of to ignore it. And I come to a question, one of the questions that I've been wrestling with for years now, which is what's the purpose of capital? And I think capital, financial capital, has a purpose in a sustainable economic system beyond using capital to make money, to have more money. And if you think of the economic system as an ecosystem, capital plays a critical part of that system. And I believe, you know, one of the costs of the economic system that we live in is this well-documented, rapidly expanding wealth gap and the massive concentration of wealth in not 1% of the population, but a fraction of 1% of the population. And that's got all kinds of social consequences that are not good. But it also represents a wonderful opportunity, which is that there's a fairly small amount of people with a tremendous amount of power who, if they see this opportunity and the challenges that I now see in a holistic way, if we can bring that power to bear on shifting the course of the capitalist system, I believe that's what will lead the politicians to the direction we need to go.
Well, you sound very, very similar to Ralph Nader. In his
Really?
most recent book is a novel about how the people like George Soros and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates sit down because wealth has become so concentrated.
Interesting.
And they impose a healthy rationality onto a dysfunctional society. So, how would I say? Ralph Nader was at the vanguard in the 60s and 70s.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
And you're arriving at the same place in your imagination now. So, anyway, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, Rob. Pleasure
Best
to
of
see
luck.
you. Yep.